Hello, I'm Lord Heddlesbury and welcome to my first video on YouTube. Now I'm going to start with an apology. I'm just getting over a cold, but if I didn't record this today it was never going to come out, so I will be clearing my throat a lot. Apologies. But I thought as my first video I was going to go into Mordheim, City of the Damned, so let's jump in. Now I've got a rank 6 warband of the human mercenaries, but to show everyone what the game's about I thought I'd start from the beginning with a new warband. Now we have our four factions here. We have the human mercenaries, we have the Skaven, we have the Sisters of Sigmar, and we have the Cult of the Possessed, who is your generic chaos sort of faction. Now, anyone who's played Warhammer related fantasy games will kind of know these as sort of Bretonnians, Skaven, Sisters of Battle, and Chaos, obviously. Now, I think for the purposes of this, we're going to jump in on Chaos. Now, here we have sort of like an explanation of what the Chaos are hoping to achieve. I know I'm talking over them, but it would take a long time to listen through this, so you know, if you want to pick up the game, have a listen to the voice acting that they've added, just go right ahead. But I'm going to try and jump right in and get to the meat of the game as quickly as I can to show people, you know, what the real focus of it is. Now, we start here on this screen. We have a veteran system, which means sort of the longer you've been playing, you build up veteran XP. Now, as your veteran levels up, you get different skills that you can add to the next warband. So obviously, I've got a level 6 veteran, so it gives me things like Commander, which reduces the upkeep for my leaders. So we're going to take that. Let's have a look at what else we've got. An Armourer, which increases the chance of us gaining a heavy armour after a mission, so we'll take that. What's Chaos without heavy armour? Great Weaponsmith, increases the chance of two-handed weapons. Now obviously I'm going to start rushing through this now and just get what I'd usually get, so that we can get you into some of the missions and show you exactly why you should be playing this. I mean, I'm very much a big fan of strategy games, and if you're the kind of person that loves their strategy games, this will scratch that itch. I feel it's a lot like games along the lines of Valkyria Chronicles. I mean, anyone who has played Valkyria Chronicles and this will see that there's a strong, solid link between the two. Right, first thing we do after that is we go to the warband. Now, you always start with a leader, and then you'll have empty slots. Here we have a hero and we have henchmen. So if we just jump in on the hero recruitment. Right, now here we have 3 different choices for this slot. Now the one that's got the 3 stars on it, he's actually a hero. The other 2 are henchmen. Now, obviously there's no point putting a henchman in the hero slot, so we're just going to go straight for the mutant, and then back to camp to do the henchman. Now, personally I'd pick nothing but Dark Souls, because the Brethren has lower stats, and the Dark Soul has this ability, Last Stand. Always fights to the death, prevents the use of flee and retreat actions, and is immune to all alone checks. Now, when that comes up, I'll explain what an all alone check is. Now, we're heading to the campaign screen now. Every day, you can attempt 1 mission. Now, as I said, I've been playing this for a while, so due to the level of my veteran, I get 3 missions pop up every day, and I can pick 1 out of the 3. So, just starting, you'll only have 1 choice, but you get scouts that you can send out, and if you decide to send out a scout, he will unlock a new mission. So you can hope to either get an easier mission if your warband is struggling, or hope for more loot. Now in this case, he's found a mission that's got an average weird stone, which is the main currency of the game, chance. So we're going to jump in on that. Now unfortunately, as you're going to see now, this game doesn't do well with load times. It really does struggle, and unfortunately, no matter what they've done since early access, they haven't managed to get those load times down, and I think that puts a lot of people off at the moment, and I don't know why it should, because the game itself, as you will see, is an amazing game. If you're a big fan of your strategies, it's great. If you're a big fan of Warhammer, it's really good. I mean, me and a few friends did play Mordheim, the actual tabletop game, through Games Workshop, sort of when that was around, and Games Workshop itself seems to be focusing a lot more on its video game franchises than it is its tabletop franchises at the moment. And to be honest, that's fine. I think it's going where the modern day gamer is going. I mean, not many people want to hang out in sort of a shop painting figures all day. And I think it's just convenient because a lot of the older gamers that remember Games Workshop, you know, they've got older, they've got wives and kids, and they can't really afford to chuck out £100 to, you know, buy paints and models and brushes. And so it's a good way of bringing them back to the games that they loved when they were younger without breaking the bank. You can really see how bad the load timers are on this, but obviously, hopefully we will get there soon. Oh, sorry, I need to clear my throat. This cold has been killing me. But yeah, as I say, it has a multiplayer mode. You can skirmish against other players' warbands. You can skirmish against your friends' warbands. Now, the skirmishes have two different modes essentially. You can do a friendly skirmish where nobody gets hurt, which I've done a few of, but there's no real point because there's no XP available. So there's also the full contact mode, as I call it, where any injuries are permanent. The injuries do go to your warband, but also any kills that you make does go towards experience points for your warband. Oh, are we actually gonna? Yeah, there we go. We're loaded in.
A new round.
Now this is the main view. Now, as you can see, we've got our leader here, and across the top is the turn order. Now, the question marks are enemy units that have yet to be spotted, so we don't know what they are. Now, down at the bottom of the screen, you can see we have blue dots and red dots. Now, the blue dots are used up by movement and strategy-based skills. The red dots are offensive points that are used to make attacks, cast spells, sort of perform stances. Now, I've had a quick look around and I can't see anyone, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to refund a couple of strategy points, I think they call them, and then I'm going to use those 2 strategy points, as you can see, to perform a dodge stance. Now that means anyone who attacks him, if they score a hit via his just normal melee resistance, he has a 40% chance to attempt to dodge. Now, we're going to take a look at the map, see how it's set up. Okay, my leader has actually seen some people in that building. So I think, all hands to the mops, we should be running down there to back him up. Now, Radley here has used up all his strategic points, but I don't want to move him back. So I'm going to put him on an ambush stance. Now that means that anyone who comes within his range, he's hopefully going to charge into them first. And looking at their symbols, they are also a Chaos Warband. So we've got some Chaos on Chaos action right now. So now the enemy are taking their turn, and all we can do is sit and watch. Now, obviously because we've spotted him, the camera's moved to show where he's going. And here he is, and there goes my ambush. Ow. He hits a lot harder than I do. Now, because I had offensive points left, I got to make a counter-attack and managed to stun him. Oh dear, it's not looking good for him already. But my mutant just got taken out. Now, I know a lot of people aren't a fan of turn-based combat, but as I said, being a big strategy fan, I've always had a lot of love for turn-based strategy. Okay, right, where is the fight in relation to... Now, let's use the map. Okay, so he's quite away from the fight. He's got quite a run to make. It doesn't look like he's going to get in this turn, which puts me at a disadvantage. This is it. I think I advanced a bit too quickly. But hopefully someone will be able to make it in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move off to the side, and then for 3 offensive points I can make a charge and make an attack. Now unfortunately not a lot's really happened in the first round. But now, this guy has 2 targets on him already. Now, if he'd been left to fight 2 units by himself, that's where the all alone checks come in. Now, if you're left to fight more than one enemy by yourself, and you don't have a resistance to, well, an immunity to all alone checks, you roll against your morale, and if you fail your roll, then the only choices you have is to abandon all attacks for that turn, or you are forced to run away. Now, if he'd been forced to run, which it doesn't look like he would have, because there was nothing holding him there, he would have taken attacks of opportunity from both these people. So it's really important that you don't leave any of your guys out to be attacked. And there we go. Now, we've made a kill each. Now, again, I think I'm going to leave him to dodge, and hopefully he'll manage to stay alive long enough for us to win this. Okay, their leader's coming in. Thankfully I had a guy on ambush stance just behind that managed to tackle him before he got too far. Now, I think if we survive this last round, this last unit, yep, we can now perform a bit of a comeback. Now, as I say, I don't think a lot of videos have been done on this recently, purely because, as you can see, it's very slow-paced, very strategic. Now, obviously, later on in the game, you'll start unlocking impressive units, which are essentially larger, more dangerous units. Things like the Chaos Spawn, or if you're the Human Mercenaries, the Ogre, or the Skaven get the Rat Ogre, I believe. And obviously that changes your whole playstyle, because obviously suddenly you've got a linchpin for the army. But right now, it looks like we're going to be taking the enemy army to the woodshed. And there we go, we have a victory. Now on the left hand side it shows that I didn't receive an XP for completing all the objectives because I didn't manage to succeed in my additional objective. I was rewarded 4 small bits of weirdstone and 2 medium bits of weirdstone, and 3 random pieces of loot, it looks like. Now, obviously you got the casualty report on the right. Obviously my mutant got taken out pretty quickly in that, and we managed to kill 2 of their guys before they surrendered. And it also gives the most valuable warriors. Now let's go and see what that actually translates to when the stats are given.
Shall be cast down. The triumph of chaos is inevitable. The Shadow Lord will remember his loyal servants, and they will have a place in the coming darkness.
Thankfully, loading out of a mission is a lot quicker than loading into one. Now, let's see what we got when the XPs are given over. 1 mental advancement. Now, my mutant that went down, at the end of the battle, any character that gets taken out of action has to roll an injury roll. Now, it could get something because, you know, innocuous as a full recovery. Nothing happens, they've just got a bit of a scar. Whereas, people are known to lose arms, legs, suffer brain damage, suffer permanent stat injuries. So, thankfully, he got away with it. But, let's see what happens when it applies the rest of the XP. Now, he received 3 XP, and so we got a physical upgrade. Now, let's see, again, nope. And then my warband gained 2 experience for succeeding. And then, there we go, that's the loot, not a lot. Now, after the mission is over, what we have is essentially an army that are waiting to be paid. Now, you can pay people individually. If you go and have a look, obviously he needs a level up, so I think as my leader he's going to get an increase in leadership, and we'll apply that. And he needs 4 gold for his day's pay. Now, obviously, if you don't want to go through all of them, you can just find the ones that have had the stat level up. Obviously, as a Dark Soul, he's going to get strength. And or if you don't really want to go through all of them, you can just go to the warband button, and that will pay for everything in one press of the button. Now again, the UI is fairly self-explanatory. It's all laid out well. It's a very strong game. Anyone who's a fan of Valkyria Chronicles, for instance, which I'm sure you've seen the sort of similarities to, would be a big fan of this. It's very strong, it's very tactical, and it's just one of those games that I keep coming back to no matter what I've been playing the week before. So that's it, that's really all I have to say on this, so I'm going to cut the video here, and hope you have a good day. Hopefully you'll join me for the next one.